My name is Dawn Hughes, and I'm the editor of Spud Smart, Canada's #1 source for potato news. And I am so excited to be at Manitoba Potato Production Days with Victoria Stamper from United Potato Growers of Canada. Victoria, we're together.
I know, finally. Usually by Zoom, and now we're actually in the same room together.
What's kind of sort of maybe a little bit ironic is this month we don't really have any market news to update.
Not particularly, no.
But we can talk about a lot of other things, right?
Yes, we can. Yes, we can. This time of the year is actually our busy time in terms of grower meetings, association meetings. Farmers are quieter. They're not out in the field. So now they get the time to get together and talk things over, and conference and trade show and show equipment and all that good stuff. So yeah, a lot of travel. So I'm in Manitoba here with you today and then this week, and then home again, then New Brunswick, then for their trade show and conference for New Brunswick potatoes.
Oh, I'm so jealous.
Then PEI is having their potato day, February 12th. So we will be there. And then the end of the month, we're actually in Vancouver for the BC potato and vegetable meetings. So we'll be there in person this year, which we don't usually do. I'm usually doing that by Zoom, but this year we get to do it in person.
That's exciting.
Yeah, really good. So the travel season is picked up, and lots of conferences and really good meetings. You know, people getting together, like you say, in person.
In person, yeah. I was listening to someone speak the other day, and they said that these kind of meetings are so great because they replace what used to be meeting at the co-op, like years and years ago, right? That's where farmers met or growers got together. But this is different. So, but it is a different atmosphere. It's not just, there's coffee, of course, but how do you think growers should take advantage of these meetings? Like how best, there's a lot going on in the industry.
Exactly. Yeah. I think that it gives them opportunity to see what's new. There's a lot of, every year there are new booths being added to the trade show part of it. So there's new things to learn about and see. And listening to the speakers, having people come in and talk about some of the issues that you're having, that you think you're alone on the farm and dealing with this issue. And then you come to one of these conferences and go, oh, I'm not alone. Like there are other people dealing with it, and what can I possibly do to work through if it's a problem, or, share their best practices. Oh, well, I did this, in different growing regions. These conferences will attract people from across Canada. So they also get different perspectives and different things that have been tried in other regions. So.
Well, and especially at something like this, Manitoba clearly put together a fantastic program.
Yeah,
I was so fascinated by the discussion about the wild pigs this morning.
Oh, I know. Wasn't that fascinating? It was like something you never would have expected, and can be a serious issue for agriculture. I mean, animals like that, okay, they're great and we don't want to harm them, but they just trample through fields. They destroy horticultural fields. So it's an important issue that people don't really think about.
Yeah, for sure. I'm not going to lie. When I came, I thought the mood was going to be a little less buzzy, a little more somber, given, the things that are looming ahead of us. But something Susan Ainsworth said yesterday really resonated. And she said, resiliency. I mean, these growers are used to times of uncertainty. So I guess, are you surprised by how the growers are responding to sort of kind of what's looming out there? Or?
Yeah. I mean, yes and no. I mean, it is definitely on their minds. Everybody's kind of got it there. But I think, unfortunately, some are comparing Trump to Mother Nature. It's a little erratic and unexpected. So we don't know where it's going to go, I think people are just trying to focus on what they can control themselves, and sort of, we'll cross that bridge when we get to it, is some of the attitude, I think. And being here and outside of the business for a day or two and allow us to focus on what's going on and what other people are dealing with, I think also helps the sentiment or the feeling with people.
Yeah. There's a sense of community here that you don't get when you're on your Zoom or your phone's ringing off the hook at the office.
Absolutely.
For sure. I suspect you probably hear more about that stuff, like people like me calling versus it even being kind of buzzy here.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
That's really good. We are in the winter season, obviously.
Yep.
Looking at storage.
Yes.
Things are good on the storage front, you think?
So far, so good. There are reports here and there across Canada with some issues. We've seen some issues in reds. We've seen some issues in yellows. Rest of the storage has been pretty quiet. I think things are going okay there.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's certainly some issues. We had very, very warm weather at harvest in most of Canada.
Yeah.
And a bit of a pressure to get stuff out of the field and into storage after some difficult issues. So some of the potatoes went in warm, and that's always a concern when it's stored long term. So
of course,
people are keeping an eye. This is the time of year where it gets sort of critical. So
yeah,
we'll see how things go moving forward.
We're going to be heading into spring pretty soon. Yep. Anything we need to be thinking of in terms of issues or thoughts or?
Yeah, I think it's really, people are starting to think about their planting intentions. People have probably already have and starting to book their seed orders. So things are moving along. I mean, there'll be people that might get as early into the fields as March out west. So we'll see how the weather goes, of course.
Of course.
But yeah, so planting intentions are really on people's minds, and we'll see February as movement in the fresh market picks up.
Yeah.
It's typically slow after the holidays in January. Things are starting to pick up now, usually sort of Valentine, mid-February, things sort of move. We'll see how the pile's moving. Things are looking very balanced in the fresh market, and I think we won't be long through transition from old crop to new crop, but the way we see things now. But again, anything can happen between now and then. But yeah, things seem to be going pretty well with the fresh potato pile so far. So we'll see how that goes. And yeah, most people are just focused now on next step will be planting in the spring. Yeah.
Right. Any issues we need? Obviously, there's issues, but anything you think should be on the radar right now?
No, I think it's just really seed sector, making sure that, there's no talk of shortages necessarily, but regional issues with variety. If you want a particular variety, there could be issues. The acreage in Canada did go up last year for certified acreage, so that's a good sign.
Of course.
But it doesn't mean it went up and the acreage went up necessarily in the variety that you were looking for.
Right.
Our top 50 varieties, of course, probably the top 5 are still russets, and because the processing sector really still
needs russets.
Needs russets and dominates sort of the overall potato pile, but still a number of other varieties and new varieties coming on that are being tested and tried. So I
am fascinated by all the research around variety and how I was talking to Peter Van der Zeg,
yes, Dr. Van der Zeg in Ontario,
about diploid potatoes and the work being done in China. And I was talking to Tyler Heppel the other day, and he said something about Warba potatoes, which is, I know we don't grow those here. Those are
that's that BC specialty.
Yes, but even my mother-in-law was talking about that.
Oh yeah,
I was like, oh, okay.
They're really
I've never
popular.
had those apparently. So breed or variety fascinates me.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
There's so much going on, and with climate change and looking into varieties that can handle the different aspects of climate change. Smoke. They've doing research on the impact of smoke on potato crops because of all the forest fires, in California and out west 2 years ago. So there's a ton of research going on, and it's changing all the time. And they're testing it out. Growers are testing.
Fantastic. Yeah. So next time we talk to you, we'll be looking at February numbers.
Yes, February holding numbers. Okay. We'll have the storage numbers out at the beginning of February, so we can get updates, sort of see where the pile is, and start doing a little bit of forecasting towards crop transition. Yeah.
Awesome. I won't get to do that in person,
but
I will look forward to our monthly meeting.
Okay, perfect. That would be awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you.